Hi again. Who is that handsome young chap on screen?
Well, after about 6 hours of post-production in Photoshop, it's you, Keith.
Thanks, Dom.
Let's have a look at what balloons we're going to use for this project.
And we will be using the following equipment.
Okay, let's get back and see what Keith is up to. Keith is using the Conwin dual split second sizer to inflate 321 Qs to approximately 5 inches with nitrogen. He's then tying them together into pairs or duplets.
Now that I have inflated 5 pairs of 321 Qs sized to 5 inches, I am tying them into a chain of 10 balloons. We need to repeat this whole process to give us a total of 4 runs of 10 sized to 5 inches, 2 runs of 10 sized to 6 inches, and 2 runs of 10 sized to 7 inches.
Once all the chains are complete, using a pair of scissors, carefully trim the excess balloons at the tying points to leave clean connections.
So Dom, you said we use nitrogen to inflate this. Does that mean it's going to float off like a helium balloon?
Good question. No, it won't. We're using nitrogen as an air substitute. This lets us inflate faster and accurately with a dual split second sizer.
Does that mean we need to have the Conwin dual split second sizer to complete this project?
No, not at all, Keith. The simpler solution is using the Qualatex two-way hand pump. So for this particular one, we're doing 2 strokes, which gives us approximately 7 inches. We use the stroke count method with the hand pump for lots of our recipe-driven designs. However, the smaller sizes are where it becomes a little bit more interesting, but we do have a method to achieve the smaller sizes. Taking the high float dispenser kit, open it up, take out the small bag of clips, discard the rest of the packaging, open up that little bag and take out the pink and orange clip, take the grey clip and discard that as well. The orange and pink clip will easily snap into place onto the neck of the hand pump. With these clips in place, it allows us to shorten the stroke, enabling us to create smaller size bubbles. With both the orange and pink clip in place, we can do the 2 strokes of the hand pump, and this will give us the 5-inch size that we require. Removing now the orange clip, leaving just the pink clip in place, 2 strokes again will give us the 6-inch size that we need.
So that's fantastic. So even with just a basic hand pump and a few clips, we can use them to achieve all the sizes we need to make this car.
Now this is the tricky bit. You need to learn how to inflate a balloon whilst trying to look at the camera and keep the funniest, cheesiest grin on your face.
Appreciate that, Dom. What I'm actually doing is just showing you can inflate with a hand pump or with the Conwin dual split second sizer connected to nitrogen to inflate some 350Q dark blues, which are going to become our ribs. We need 10 of them for the design. Now what I'm doing is I'm starting off each of the ribs with a pinch twist on the end of each one. And look at this, I'm going to repeat it again, just if you didn't see it the first time. No need to rewind on this video.
It's good to prepare all of your 350Qs with a pinch twist on before we start weaving the 321Q chains and the 350Qs.
We try to be as efficient as we possibly can. So what we do is, like I say, is we repeat the process. Oh, nearly tricked myself. You know, from the other side. Yeah, like as I was saying, we try to break everything down into stages. So what we're doing now is we're doing all the pinch twists onto the ribs. We've already inflated our long chains that we need, both for the front and the back of what's going to be the car.
If you notice as well through that, he managed to keep the smile up all the way through.
Oh, I'm a professional. So here we go. We're looking for the center of our chain. So it's 10 long, so that means we need to count, yes Keith, 10. So you need to count to 5, and that's the middle of our chain. And we're going to wrap it around the first one of our 350 Qs, around the pinch twist.
Two to 3 turns to make sure that's secure into place. Take the next 350Q and work it one along the chain.
And then wrapping it in from the opposite direction, just so that it holds it in place. They're wrapped around each other, so it's actually locked now into place.
Working along the chain, each bubble at a time, add a 350Q and make sure that's twisted to secure it into position.
You can see as well that the pinch twists on the 350Q all start from, all come out of one side, and the backs of them come out the other side, so we can work away from that on the next level.
Coming up to the end of the chain now. The only thing different on this is we have the 2 open ends.
So what we're going to do is we're going to tie them together. It's simple as that. Just tie them into a standard knot.
Noticing the grin has stayed consistent right the way throughout this.
Yeah, I was looking for my pair of scissors there. I'm sure they were supposed to be there. No, they're not there, Keith.
Perhaps some hide help will be handy on this one.
That gives us our first run. A bit wonky there. Can you straighten that up? Thank you.
Excellent job, Keith. Excellent.
I know. How good's that?
Ta-da! Even more pleased with himself right now.
Well, now this is where the action starts. Look at that. I've already counted to 5, put it underneath my arm. And what we're going to do now is on the 350Q is twist a very small bubble. This is a spacing bubble, and what we need to do is we need to be able to twist it consistently across each of the 350Qs as we work, because this is going to create the gap between each layer of the 321Q chains.
Working along the chain again, take it to the next 350Q, adding the bubble and wrapping each side of the chain around.
Sorry, we should have mentioned these first 2 chains that we're using are the actual 5-inch bubble chains as well. It's really good because we're working with a recipe. It means that if anything should burst when you're putting it together or later on after it's built, as well as we can simply replace an individual balloon. If we were weaving the whole thing with 350Qs, which we've done in the past, if one of those chambers should fail, the whole run will fail. And so with using the 321Qs, it takes that danger away from the main body of the car. You're only risking the 350s themselves.
To finish up this row, Keith's tied the 2 ends of the 321Qs together before he made his last bubble in the 350Q. Then he made the bubble and tied it in.
So now we've moved up a size. We've used 2 runs of 5-inch. Now we're going on to a run of bubble size to 6-inch, and we're just doing the same process again. It's very simple to build this whole car. You're just repeating the same technique each time, just wrapping it around, taking it, resizing your bubble, and working it along. Work it.
I was going to have something interesting to say here, but I couldn't think of anything.
By the way, at the end, this car gets good gas miles.
Oh dear.
So we're almost at the end of our third run. You'll see as we get around to the end, toss them over there, so it locks it in place. We'll take those 321s and tie it round the back of the 350Q. Dom said for the previous row. Tie the ends together, and I have a pair of scissors this time, so I'm going to trim the ends carefully. Try and keep it as neat as we can. Push it in, knock it off, and then twist that pair over so it locks into place. That's our third row. Just one more row to go, Keith, and then we'll have done the main bonnet of the car, or the hood if you're American.
Again, using the middle of the chain, we're taking the 7-inch sized balloon now and adding that one in for our fourth run. Same process, just working our way along, twisting the chains into place.
We were going to speed this up as well, so we didn't have so much to fill, but we thought it'd be better. We're not making the front and the back on here, so it'd be better if you saw each process as well, so you can see it all the way through. There we go, Keith, just tie it off. It's strange when you're talking to yourself on TV, you know.
And the scissors again there. Excellent, well done, Keith.
Without cutting a finger. There we go. Just lock that over. Push everything up, and there we go. The front of the car. Yay! So what we need to do is we need that shape. That's going to be the front of the shape. So how we achieve this is we've already inflated some 350Qs to the sizes of, well, we actually need 12 of them. We need 4 of them sized to approximately 18 inches. We need 2 of them sized to approximately 20 inches, and we need 2 more sized approximately 22 inches. What we're actually doing at this point here is we're pulling the air out of the tips by putting the tip between your finger and your thumb and pulling it through and then tying it off. What this does is this kind of sets the sizes. What we'll do on here is we'll take the knot end, we'll tie it around the very front pinch twist to one side, and we can pull it over, and as you can see there, it creates that nice D-shaped arch. I'm just going to wrap it around that first pinch twist.
So we're going to work across the base here. We're going to add in 4 of the 350Qs. The first 2 being 2 sized to the 18 inches, then 1 at the 20 inches, and then the last one being the 22 inches. The other 4 350Qs will be for the back section of the car. So again, just attaching the knot end to one side
and just wrapping it around the bubble on the opposite side.
Keep just checking the size there to make sure he's got the right one for this third layer.
Very professional.
It is.
The other thing as well is when you come to make these cars, it's a good thing to experiment with different sizes to see what effects it has. The standard car that we make, it's a very cartoon looking car. We love it for that. So experiment with different sizes and see what you achieve.
Also as well, the colour. We chose to do a couple of different colours on this one to make it easier for you guys to follow along. However, you could do it one colour, or you could add it in for a corporate day, picking their colours to be very much more customised for your clients.
We've added in a couple of pinch twists there on that last layer, just to make it an easier tie-in point. Also, as well as when we come to connect the front and the back together, it makes it a lot easier. So now we're doing the middle section. This is going to be in affected doors. If you wanted to change the colours at this point you could, but we're going to make the whole thing in red and blue. So we're inflating 10 runs of 2, so creating 10 pairs of 321 cues, size to approximately 9 inches.
As before, Keith's tidying up the connection points between the 321 cues, just using a pair of scissors and taking off the excess bits of balloons. Being careful not to take his finger off.
So we've inflated 5 sets there, that's half of the runs that we need. So that's enough to do one side of the car.
Taking every opportunity to have a new and fun face. Well done, Keith.
So we're sizing on the 350 cue again, made a small bubble, twisting them over. What we're going to do in this case is, you could carry on and do one layer at a time all the way through if you wanted to, but we just find that adding all of the layers onto one side first of all, it just works really nice. Number 4, and lastly number 5. Starting your size and bubble and then just tying off across.
Keith's just using the 321 to hold the 350 cue in place. So he hasn't tied it in, but the friction between the two balloons is stopping that balloon spinning round, which is why that bubble that he's made has stayed in place.
Then it goes and lock it.
Same thing again. Create the bubble, just tuck it underneath the 350 cue under the 321s. Tie the two ends together of the 321s, cut off the excess, and then lock them into place.
Floor 3. You're probably getting the idea by now. Onto the 4th row. And lastly, row 5. That 350 is becoming a little bit short, so what I've done is I've pre-tied them together, and then what I'm doing is sizing that last bubble and tucking it through. Pull it up and lock it over. So that gives us the front and one door.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! We've quickly made the second door. There we go.
Exactly the same process
at exactly the same time. We need to tidy this up a little bit. So with the other two 350 cues that you didn't use to tie the doors in with, we just create a pinch twist on either side. There we go.
You could just tie the balloon off there, however, having that pinch twist gives a cleaner finish. It's a nice little bubble to end the run on and hides all the little mechanics of the knots at the join there.
Also, we're going to use it as a connection point later on in the design. You can use the Conwin Precision Air to inflate these 321s or 321Qs. However, you'll find dependent on the area that you live in, depends on how powerful your machine is. So what you're going to need to do, certainly in the American areas, is pre-stretch out your 321s before you try to inflate them. Otherwise you'll find it's not going to have the right effect. So now what we're going to do is, we've taken a very small bubble, which is the same size as all of the rest of the spacers, trim off the end of the 350Q and tied it onto a small bubble, because that's going to be a connector. We're going to use that to connect to the back end or the front end, depending on which way you look at it, of the car. And we're going to do that on all 4 ends of the doors.
You'll note at this stage as well that Keith's lost his smile, so whether that comes back again, who knows. Looking very serious.
I'm making an entire car. It's heavy going. There we go, that's done with the doors and the connecting points ready to go. So there's our back end of the car, and what we're going to do with the back end of the car is we're going to create a pinch twist on every single 350Q, because we don't need any of them to connect the doors on. In this one, they're just all going to be pinch twist and then trim it off.
So that's all 6 350Qs having a pinch twist put into them, tied off and then removed.
Just trimming off some of the excess there from the connectors from underneath that were left on from earlier.
Very tidy job, Keith. Well done.
You haven't seen the floor dog. There we go, there's the back. Can we have the front again, please? There we go. You notice we didn't take off the ends, we've still got some stretchy ends on there of the 350Qs, and we're just going to wrap them in put a bit of tension on and then just wrap it into the pinch twist. That's strong enough to hold it into place. And then we're going to do the same thing with that side. A lot more difficult when you're trying to show somebody as well, because normally I'll be looking at that from my side.
I think we're going to need a bigger studio, Keith.
I think you're right, Dom. We'll wrap it on the other side. And lastly, the fourth one. Pull that in place and then taking it around the twist. Level them all up a bit, straighten it out, and that gives us the body of our car.
Wow, who's this handsome chap?
Well, it's you, Dom.
Well, I'm going to be doing the grille section for the car now, so I'm taking a 646Q. I'm going to inflate it with nitrogen. You could use a hand pump, it just takes a little bit longer. I'm sizing this to fill the gap of the front part of the car.
Also the back part as well.
Or the front part.
Or the back part.
Correct. Same as what Keith did with the 350Qs. I've tied the balloon off and then stretched the air back down to seal that off to set its size.
What do we need now, Dom?
260Qs.
See, you can use the hand pump.
I can indeed. Take that 260Q, inflating it most of the way, just leaving about half an inch on the end underinflated. Tie the balloon off, then starting off with a pinch twist.
Then what Dom's doing is he's wrapping it around the 646 just to size it, and then he's going to take the long end and wrap it around the pinch twist. And then moving it along, he's going to do a very small sizing bubble, followed by another little bubble that he's going to turn into a pinch twist. He's going to take the 260 all the way around, and with the uninflated part of the tip, wrap it around the 260, and that gives us 2 bands so far.
I started in the middle of the 646Q just to make it easier to work with, but once I've created the first 2 bands, I've pushed them down to one end.
Then what he's done is he's taken the neck of the next balloon, which is inflated the same way, wrapped it around the pinch twist, small bubble with a spacer, pinch twist around the 646, around the pinch twist, then small space and bubble, pinch twist, and then all the way around that balloon again, using uninflated tip to wrap around the pinch twist again.
The pinch twists and bubbles on the back don't have to be exceptionally neat. You won't see those, they will be on the inside of the car.
Then we take the third one again, wrap it around the last pinch twist you did, small space and bubble, small bubble, which we turn into a pinch twist, all the way around the 646, wrap it around the pinch twist, small space and bubble, pinch twist, around the 646, and lastly wrap it around the pinch twist.
Get the concentration.
Smile, Dom.
Any second. Ta-da! No,
hey! So now that that's been made, we can just push it inside, just stretching it a bit. In it goes. Tie it in if you feel you need to, but generally if you've made it quite big enough, it stays in there nice and tight, and that blocks that off all the way up front. And we're going to create, well, we've created the second one exactly the same for the back end as well. You didn't need to see it again.
I'm going to be adding a windscreen or a windshield for you guys now. So using 3 350Q white balloons, I've inflated it, leaving about an inch or so at the end, and tied it into the top of the car at the pinch twist. Created an upright post, adding another pinch twist to create an angle. moving a bubble across for the top, another pinch twist to bring it back down, so it makes it like a frame for the first part. Size that bubble off, twisted it, let the excess air out, and then tied that off so I can then use the excess balloon to tie it into the top at the other side.
That becomes the middle part of our windshield. Taking another 350Q white, wrap it around the pinch twist at the top, and I'm going to size it up to the side of the car. And again, this is up to you. You can make it look sleeker by having it tighter, or you can have it look more cartoony by having it longer and more rounded. And it's tied off and just pulled into another one of the pinch twists to the side.
Going to do the other side now, trying to get that one to be the same as the other side. So just straightening everything up before I start.
If you notice there as well, Dom just pulled the pinch twists in front of the 350Q. This kind of pushes the windscreen backwards to give it that nice angle.
Again, sizing the end of that balloon, twisted it to seal the air in, chop the end of the balloon to let the excess air out, tie that off to seal it, and then use the excess balloon at the end to tie it into the end pinch twist.
Look at that. Very neat.
There we go.
We're almost ready.
Big smiles.
What are we missing? Wheels.
Wheelie?
We need some wheels.
The attachment of the wheels, I'm going to make an axle. So I'm going to use a 350Q black. I've inflated it wider than the car, and now I'm just going to place that on the bottom so I can see how wide it needs to be, because it needs to be just a little bit wider than the car. So let a little bit of air out to do that, tie the balloon off, seal the other end in by stretching that air down and tying it.
And then I'm going to repeat the process with another 350Q Onyx black. But because we know the size now, we can size it down so it's the same size as the previous one. Tie it off that end, pull the air out, and tie it off on that end too. Seals it in.
And now I need the 16-inch Geo donut.
Onyx black.
I'm going to be using the common trigger valve on nitrogen to inflate this, just to make it a bit easy to show you. What I've got is I've restricted the base of the 16-inch Geo donut with my hand to allow the balloon to inflate from the top part of the balloon first, so it doesn't overinflate that.
Get some far more rounded Geo donut. Otherwise what happens is the bottom part of the Geo donut inflates first, and it kind of creates a more of a teardrop shape rather than a nice rounded balloon there. You can see Dom's just as it's inflating, allowing it to drag out of his hand, so it forces the top to inflate first. Now what he wants to do is make sure that the wheels are the same size by sizing it against the previous one.
I haven't fully inflated these, I haven't taken them to the full 16 inches. The reason being is this is a wearable car, so these are on the outside and I don't want them hitting off things and bursting. So by having them slightly downsized, it makes it a little bit more, much more softer balloon.
He's inflated a 5-inch yellow balloon to approximately 3.5 inches, which is 2 strokes on a Qualatex hand pump, and he's going to pull the neck of the balloon through the Geo donut and then tie it onto the neck of the Onyx Black 350Q.
I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, so again the 5-inch yellow, 2 strokes on the hand pump, tie that off to seal it, pull the neck through the centre of the Geo donut, and then tie onto the other end of the 350Q Onyx Black axle.
When we do our stroke count as well, you'll notice that we always start from the base. We never start with the pump extended, it always starts from the base position. So Dom, work out. Looking good.
Just tidying up now, cutting off the excess neck of the geodonut.
On both ends, obviously we do this on all 4 of the wheels. Placing the axle across the body width so the wheels fit snugly either side, and then taking an 260Q dark blue in this case and tying it in the front pinch twist, just wrap the neck around, and then taking it to the middle pinch twist. Just wrap it around to hold it securely, and then trim off the excess, tie it in, snip off the excess to tidy it up.
Same thing on the other side, 260Q dark blue, tie in it one side, create a loop, and attach it to the other side.
We tried different methods of tying the wheels directly onto the car, but we found that the wheels always kind of went off in funny angles, and we found this was the best way of doing it. Then repeat the same process for attaching the wheels to the front of the car.
This is exactly the same as the other set, attaching the 260Q to one end, create the loop, and then attach it to the other side to hold the axle into place. Chopping off the excess and make sure it's securely wrapped around, and chop off any excess below.
Last one, wrap it around that pinch twist again, loop it round. It's got to be heavy work, Dom. You're holding an entire car there on your knee.
I think I may change my name to Jack.
On your head. Oh dear. Wheels and wheels. And there we go, your very own 321 Q car.